Have you ever checked your bank account and realized, whoa, there is no way I spent this much money this month? I spent $400 on eating out? I feel like I only went out to eat a couple times. Well, this is this is exactly why budgeting matters. Budgeting matters because it helps one to see and understand where their money is going, and then as a result, be able to avoid unnecessary debt. And so this is what we're going to be looking at over the next couple minutes. We're going to be looking at how budgeting helps you track your spending, and then as a result, avoid debt that most of the time is unnecessary. And so, firstly, let's take a look at how budgeting helps one to see and understand their finances and understand where their money is going. So basically, the basics of budgeting is that you're listing out all your income, wherever it's coming from your job, from your business, from your investments, or whatever. Money that's coming in that you're taking home monthly. And then you're going to be listing out all your expenses. You're going to be listing out your typical reoccurring fixed expenses, your typical reoccurring variable expenses, the expenses that are going to be changing from month to month, like utilities and whatnot. And you're basically going to be budgeting for the future and creating a document that shows, okay, this is how much I historically spend on this. And then as a result, you're going to budget yourself a certain amount for each bucket of life. So, for example, how much you're going to be saving, how much you're going to be putting in an emergency fund, how much you're going to be putting towards rent, how much you're going to be putting towards utilities, how much you're going to be putting towards gas, and you're going to be aware of where your money is going. So it's not like you're going to be guessing, where is my money going to be going this month? And so this way, small purchases don't just add up. So you're not just guessing on where your money is going. You're not just saying, yeah, I'm going to go out to eat. And then hopefully I don't spend too much on eating out this month. And so this knowledge creates an awareness of what's going on. And this is shown in a scholarly article written by Bai, in that this mental budgeting and this budgeting is going to create a knowledge and awareness of finances. And then as a result, it's going to increase one's financial well being. And if someone is financial well off, their life generally it's going to improve. So as a result of this knowledge of where your money is going, this is going to lead one into avoiding unnecessary debt because debt often arises as we see. Um, I mean, the U.S. has a gigantic household debt, according to the New York Reserve Bank of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, as of quarter one 2026. We're going to see that the U.S. has a household debt of $18.8 trillion. That means that U.S. debt is a thing that people on average have debt in the US. And so why is this? Because in general, people are not budgeting. People are not setting aside an emergency fund. Like according to bankrate.com, we see that according to their emergency savings report of 2026, we see that a person is much more likely to be able to handle an unexpected expense without going into debt if they have a proper emergency fund. And so we see the importance of this is that in making a budget, in having awareness of where your money is going, if say, for example, your air conditioning goes out and it's $2,000 to fix, you have an emergency fund set aside so that when something like that happens, then you're prepared and you are able to avoid that debt. And so overall, let's take a step back and see from 30,000 feet what we're talking about. A budget helps you to stop guessing on where your money is going, and then as a result, because you know where your money is going, you're not guessing, you can avoid debt, and you can have a proper emergency fund, and you can have a general knowledge about your finances and be able to make adjustments as needed. If your finances are not where they need to be and where your spending is not where it needs to be, and you know this, you can make adjustments. If I'm spending $500 a month on eating out generally, I can make a change. I can budget and pull that back. So then as a result, I'll be able to have a greater financial well-being and understand where my finances are going and be able to make changes accordingly.